にちは。こんにちは。こんにちは。はーい。
Greetings. Oh, so there might not be a stream today because my internet provider is doing this shit again. They've decided that we don't need any fucking upload speed, as I've got like a 1997 level of fucking internet going on right now. Like, oh yeah, we'll give you half a gig down. We'll give you 1 megabyte up. 1 megabyte up speed. 520 down. 1 up. That's... And this is the best speed that they... When I actually run the test, it's not even 1 that shows up on... First off, look at how long it takes to initiate the test. If you can even hear me.
Damage.
We're still waiting for it to send the message to the web server to start the goddamn test. Still waiting. Oh, here it goes. Still waiting for it to actually start. We're getting about 300 down. Oh look, it's increased to 6.
I will send you to Jesus.
These should be the same fucking number. Oh. Yeah. I assume it's buffering and all kinds of crazy stuff on your guys' end. If it keeps doing this, I'm not going to be able to stream a game. It's gotta stabilize. Fast.com. I mean, there might be a lot of World Cup traffic, but I doubt that's what's causing any of this. This is the corporations that control the internet in the United States don't believe that private citizens need upload speed. They reserve that for corporations. And so when one of their corpos needs more internet speed, they choke out all of the residential speeds and give it all to corporations. Like, that happens all across the United States. We, for being a, quote, first world country, nearly every single country in Europe has better internet speeds than we do. Even the ones in the Middle East. Like, when you can get better internet on the fucking Gaza Strip than you can get in, like, New York City, that's a fucking issue for a first world best country in the world. We'll run this again and see what it comes up with once the page is fully loaded in. Yeah, I've not been having a very good week, and I'm not very high on the United States right now as a place where people should live. You guys have probably been following, because I've tweeted about it. Shut the fuck up, phone. I am fucking talking here. Yeah, I've tweeted about the going-ons of this week and how disappointed I am because like we're living below the minimum income rate here, and our food stamps have been canceled again. And when we called back yesterday to see what was going on, we were told that they were passed from the DSS agency to a new agency in South Carolina, and we had to call that agency and see what was going on. And then we had to go through the whole reapplication process, and it's going to take a month or two for them to process the application and see like what we're going to be available to get. So we've got at least 1 month, possibly 2, where we're just not going to get any kind of food assistance at all, while they are debating whether or not we deserve to even be on the fucking program now. This is the 3rd time that they have canceled it just out of the blue, and we had to call them back and get them. And every time they do it, we get less than what we had before. And now that we have to enter some kind of fucking queue, and there's a waiting period. So yeah, we don't get any kind of food assistance for at least a month, probably 2. So I go down to the local food bank. I use the last of our gas to drive down to this fucking food bank. It's the same one I've been to before. But when I get in there this time, all of the staff that are working inside the food bank have the same skin color. It's not my skin color. And I've noticed several times.
Busy? Look, they're busy and you're dizzy. No, I'm not drunk, madam, but you give me an idea.
Oh yeah, I've had that idea. But I go into this food bank, and I've noticed something. When Nari Mom and I went to this food bank, they told us specifically that as a household, we were allowed to get 1 shopping cart worth of food and groceries, right? Because Nari Mom and I lived in the same household, and it's 1 per household. But I noticed that every single black family and every single Hispanic family, like they'll pull up, a guy will get out, a girl will get out, and then 2 younger but adult children will get out. All 4 of them will go in. all 4 of them will walk out with fucking shopping carts and put all of that into the same car and then drive off. It was every single black family. It was almost every single Hispanic family. Not one white family was able to do that. When I get in there, they make up a bullshit reason that I'm not allowed to come back this month because I came back last month and there was a waiting period. So I'm not allowed to get anything this month. And as I'm walking out, the clerk guy that was helping me said out loud, y'all people don't need no handouts anyway. Stop taking it away from people who deserve it. And I looked at his manager, and his manager's like, well, he's not wrong. That's what that is. They're restricting handouts to people based on skin color. That's exactly what they're doing. Churches are the worst places to go to try and get any kind of help. There is no hatred like Christian love, let me tell you. Like, a church is the last place you want to go to get some help.
Inconceivable!
Yeah, I've gone through like all of the different places around here, and all of the food banks around here are part of the same network of food banks. So if you go to one, you can't go to another one. And if they block you out of one, they block you out of all of them. And the places that aren't food banks require you to live within 10 miles of the location. And if you don't, they won't serve you. Because there's like soup kitchens and stuff that give stuff away. But you have to live within 10 miles of the soup kitchen or they won't let you in. And there's not one within 10 miles of where I live. So this is kind of just showing me the same information that this did. These are basically matching, which is and this is because of the ISP. The ISP is choking the residential upload speed and giving it to some corporation who called them and said, hey, we need more upload. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they started just choking out the residential. Nobody here is gonna do anything. People don't care. Not in the United States. People don't care. I mean, have you seen the shit that's happening on our news? And people, like, ICE is literally snatching people off the street and executing people in broad daylight. Nobody gives a damn. Yeah, there's outrage for like a week. And then, you know, business as usual. And ICE is still doing that shit. And especially in this area. Because everybody in this area is still gung-ho for Donald Trump. He's like the best thing that's ever happened. political commentators care when it happens to somebody? In order to get a political commentator to care, you have to be somebody of pretty big influence to get on their radar in the first place. And you have to be a person of color. Like, no one's gonna care that the middle-aged white guy got turned away from the food pantry because he was white. That's not a story that's gonna land anywhere. It's happening more and more often. And there are some people in Great Britain who are starting to point it out. I have seen that on the news. But over here in the US, no. If it was the other way, around, and a food pantry that was being ran entirely by white people turned the black family away, that shit would be everywhere overnight. But when it's inverted, nobody cares. Unfortunately, I didn't video it. I wasn't thinking about that at the time. Although the next time I walk in there, I'm gonna have my camera on. Because unfortunately, like, at some point I'm gonna have to go back. And we'll see what happens then when I go back. It seems to be floating between 3,000 and 4,000 on the bitrate right now. Which isn't where I need it to be. That's still way too low. It just dropped down to 1,000. Oh. The bitrate is still all over the place. If that doesn't level out, like I'm not going to be able to stream a game. Hell, it's spiking like this, and I'm streaming a static web page in my VTuber avatar, and it's barely keeping up. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. The past few days. And our rent is going up again on top of that. They're making, before everybody had a flat fee for trash, but apparently they didn't like that idea. So they decided, hey, let's just make the people in the apartments pay for all of the trash. So they're taking the entire trash bill for the place, including the trash bill for the construction that they're using. And then they're dividing that by the number of apartments that are filled. And that's the new price for the trash that we have to pay. So we're having to pay the full trash bill now, plus the special construction trash, because they don't want to pay that out of pocket, so they're making the residents pay it. So everybody's rent's going up by the amount of the trash. An off-grid trail on some space? What does that mean? What's an off-grid trail? Bum 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 bum. Okay, is it? Oh, a trailer. Oh. Yeah, the delay is crazy. Because it just dropped, it just bottomed out. Yeah. I'm probably not going to be able to stream Bear and Breakfast today because of what the internet is doing. I may need to just spend like the weekend resetting up the entire computer and getting everything reset and making sure that that's not like the issue that's going on here. But Windows is definitely being strange as well. Boss battle music for Mega Man 5. Hank is a patient bear. Indeed. Oh. And thank you guys for sending funds for foodstuffs the past few weeks. That has been super helpful. We still have some canned goods and stuff around here. You end up with so unfortunately I can't afford like to take like any other route. Like all of my options of doing anything are being choked out more and more and more. Like I've been looking, like trying to get a job. I can't find anything remote. I've been looking at office positions. I mentioned on Ladies Channel like some of the things that have happened with 2 places that I've applied to for an office position. Things like, oh, we don't hire men because it makes they don't hire men inside the building because it makes it an unsafe space for women. So they would have loved to hire me, but putting men on their floor makes it an unsafe space for women. Or the parking lot protocol, that my car doesn't look good enough to sit in their parking lot, so I have to use a parking garage paid out of my own pocket that's 2 blocks away. Yeah, bullshit like that. Yeah. I was told specifically that they, for one office job that's near where I live here, that they would love to hire me, but the women don't feel safe when there's a man working in the office. It makes it an unsafe space for them. So there's nothing that they can do. The problem with remote work is that 90% of what you see for remote work is link farming. So there's a lot of companies that'll put up like, oh, we have all of this remote work, and then you apply for it, and then you never hear anything back because all they're trying to do is get your personal information so that they can pass it off to third-party companies. So when you're going online and you're seeing all these jobs that saying, oh, we have remote work available, 90% of that is them farming people for their personal information that they can then pass off and sell. The modern equivalent to stuffing envelopes, what do you mean? What they were doing in the all ladies office, I'm not sure. I was trying to get in as a programmer, tech support type guy. I applied specifically for a programming position and a tech support position, and no, wrong gender. Oh yeah, it's they're farming people's data that they can sell. Yeah, that's what's going on with my bitrate. There's nothing I can do about it. It's the internet provider. If it's around, I can't find it, because I've been looking for like data entry positions and all kinds of stuff like that. But if like I put in between 2 and 8 applications a day, and I have been doing that for the past 2 years, and I've got maybe 12 callbacks in 2 years. And most of the time when I put in and I call the place back, I run into an AI answering machine that doesn't actually have a path to talk to anybody. You just loop around through their machine over and over, because it's super simple to set one of those up, and it handles all of the incoming calls. And it's one of the first things that you can note to know that you just gave your information to a data farm. Is if you call the number back and you immediately get thrown into an AI answering system, yeah, you just gave your information to a data farm. Haven't heard anything back about the editing for the animal channel. And I've been trying to make a presence on places like Fiverr, but like you can hardly get anything out of those places now, because all of that like content creation for like thumbnails and overlays for streams and like emotes, that whole thing is completely overrun with AI generated slop now. So whereas before when you went to some place like Fiverr, you could see different emote artists that had slightly different styles, and whatnot, and I still have the contact information for my emote artist. And I know my emote artist is legit because there are other big streamers that use the same emote artist that I do. Like, oh, what's her name? There's a squirrel streamer that plays a lot of games like Among Us and stuff. Uses the same emote artist that I do. Siri? Something like that. She has a really good Siri impersonation. But yeah, so like trying to find anything else on there, like it's completely overrun with AI slop.
There's no I in team, Chris. Yeah, there's no you either. So I guess if I'm not on the team and you're not on the team, nobody's on the goddamn team. The team sucks.
I mean, we can go to Fiverr right now and check that out. How about we go on this thing? Look how long it's taking to load web pages on my end. Look at this. Now, the first thing that we're gonna see when we come in here is shit like this. Because I tell you right now, this right here, this is AI generated, this image. This image right here, AI generated. This image right here, completely different person from this person, AI generated. This image right here, AI generated. That one might be legit. That one is generated. This one is generated. This one is generated. That one is generated. This one is probably generated. This right here, this is generated. When you see the same outlook and like style of emotes across 5 different people, that right there, that's AI generated. Because you notice the video pops in the same way on all of these things. That video doesn't even fucking load for me. But they all pop the same. Yeah, they all pop the same way because they're all fucking AI. If they even load on. Yeah. But that's the problem with this now. You get people doing stuff like this, and I think Gemini has let's ask Gemini if it can make pictures. If it even loads. It has not loaded the back end for this thing yet. Let's see how easy it is to make an AI slop picture. Make me a little Twitch emote character of a character with white hair and a green gi. We got nice Conker's Bad Fur Day like rock music going on while we wait for the AI slot to appear. There you go. Would you think that that character was created by AI? I mean, it looks good. And 90% of the stuff that you see on Fiverr are people who have like entire like rigs and stuff set up to do stuff like this. And they're just cranking it out. And the people who are buying it don't realize that they can get the same quality stuff by one sentence into an AI. And when you look at this and the stuff that we just saw on Fiverr, AI has a style that you can spot. How many places here can you spot this art style right here? There it is. There it is. There it is, right here on this one. There it is again, right there on that one. There it is again, right there on that one. There it is again, right there on that one. Like, so being an artist and able to do stuff like this in this space now, it's completely overrun with AI because it's this easy to make stuff. And there are real artists in here that are doing stuff, and it's their style that is being stolen by these other artists that just downloaded their like little screens like this, dumped them over to an AI and said, hey, make me a bunch of stuff that looks like this. Like this right here, this is, they copied this straight from Gargura. Yeah. So I have attempted to do Fiverr stuff in the past, but now like you can't compete with the AI turnaround on this, because they can literally generate an entire order in a day and charge half the price of what an actual artist charges. And still like make insane profits doing that. So yeah, like I'm still looking for like work, cause if I could get remote work here, like that would be amazing. But I just can't find it. If I was able to actually get work, that would solve like almost all of Narim's mine and Narim's problems. And the thing is, I am fairly certain if I lived pretty much anywhere in Europe or Asia, I would have a job right now. Like, I know for certain if I lived in Northern Europe or Japan, I would be working right now. Because the work is there. Yeah. And look, if I lived in Canada, I would be working right now. Yeah, for what you can say about other countries in the world, I don't know of any country in the world that's not like an active war zone that treats their citizens worse than they do in the United States. I mean, and that's just a fact. For me, it would just be a matter of like moving, but I'm taking care of Nari mom, and relocating her is gonna be next to impossible. And like, if it were possible for me to get out of the United States and go to another country where I could have a fair shot at just doing things, because that's what I want. I want a fair shot. I want to be able to like go to a job where I don't have to, where I'm not required to stand up 10 hours for a shift or move heavy boxes and stuff around, because I have an injured back. I literally can't do that. But when it comes to like sitting at a computer where every hour I have to get up and take like a little 5-minute walk around the office and then come back and sit at the computer again, I can do a job that requires that level of effort. I can do that. I stream, and this requires that level of effort. Like I'm writing a novel which requires that level of effort. Like, I can put in that level of effort for a job. But here in the US, those kind of jobs don't go to people like me. They go to diversity hires, or workplaces where women don't feel safe if there's a man in the office. It makes an unsafe space. Unless the man is like completely effeminate, gay, or trans, then of course that's allowed because, you know, they're a diversity hire. A woman could never live that. What specifically would I be lying about? Because they're judging me entirely based on my appearance. Just saying it wouldn't really do anything. Because I'm already bi, so I'm already part of the LGBTQ community. But saying it doesn't really do anything. They're judging me entirely based on my appearance. And when it comes to the resume, I would actually have to lie in the opposite direction and take some of my like accomplishments and knowledge off of my resume in order to get hired. Because when I put like all the stuff that like, okay, I can program in these languages, I know this stuff, I make the men uncomfortable too. But yeah, look, when I pass out my full resume to people, I almost immediately get the, oh, you're overqualified for this position. We're looking for someone who's not quite as advanced as you are in these areas. This is more of an entry-level job. Yeah. And I'm like, well, and I've told those people, you can pay me entry-level pay. I'll work an entry-level job. And like, no, you're overqualified for this. Like, this isn't the job for you. And like I've even seen there's stuff like that happening even with fast food places now. Because there are government kickbacks here in the United States for places that are not able to fill their rosters, right? So if you're not able to put enough people on staff to cover the restaurant, you actually get a kickback from Donald Trump's government to help out small businesses. Restaurant chains are using this because they figured out that, hey, we can run an entire restaurant with just one person during COVID. They figured out that they can just put one person in a fast food restaurant and make that one person run the entire restaurant for days on end. So they don't have to hire 3 or 4 or 5 people to work a restaurant. They can do it with one person. In a rush, they might have to bring on a second person for a couple of hours. After COVID went away here, that mentality in restaurants did not go away. So every fast food restaurant that I can visit within 20 miles of here, of where I am right now, is being ran by 2 people at most. And every single one of them has a help wanted sign in the window, but they won't hire anybody. Because hiring somebody costs more than what it is for them to not hire somebody and get that kickback from the government. Because I've worked in restaurants for like 10 years. Fast food restaurants and like sit down fine dining restaurants. As line cooks, as head of the kitchen, as training managers and cooks. I am already on LinkedIn, and the only thing, that ghost job, I'll come back to LinkedIn in a moment. The ghost job thing is what I was talking about earlier with the farming thing, because that's what those ghost jobs are online. IRL, it is the ghost job phenomenon, because they do have positions open, because it takes 4 or 5 people to run a restaurant efficiently, like a fast food restaurant. The reason that it's taking like 20 minutes in a drive-through at a fast food restaurant these days is specifically because they don't have enough people in the restaurant. And they won't hire people because they're getting paid not to. Yeah. And for LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn. But and I get an email from LinkedIn every day. Hey, there are these jobs available from this company. There are these jobs available from this company. And every time I go and check out that company is an online staffing company that is listing a whole lot of those ghost jobs.
And it exploded.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff that's happening here. And it was COVID that let all these restaurants figure out that they, not just restaurants, but like some like stores and gas stations and stuff too. It was COVID that let them figure out, hey, we can do this and we can cut it down to one person. And then after COVID was over, they just never brought it back up. It became their new standard. Yeah. And all they need is one person that can't afford to quit. And then they've got their person that's just stuck in that role. Because if you quit, you find yourself in a similar position to where I'm at. Like, and that's where the disconnect for the unemployment rate in the United States comes into play. Yeah, you can look at it just by the number of people that are working at places and say, oh, the unemployment rate is actually pretty low because all these jobs are filled. But the problem is there's no turnover anywhere because the people that are in those jobs don't leave them because they know it's almost impossible to find one right now. There are no new jobs in our job market over here. Daily remote? I've never heard of daily remote. I would definitely check that out. It looks like a lot of these are overseas. I can tell right off the bat that some of these are the ghost job farming places that I've heard about. Ever AI, this is a farming company. Hotlicks, this is a farming company. Shumba Capital, that makes me worried. Because it is a fact that if there's a company posting jobs that is coming out of Russia, India, or China, it's probably a scam. And this particular company that I'm looking at here has Indian written all over it. There's that AI company again. But then these look legit, because these look like legit companies here from Poland and Hungary and Spain. Yeah, like the first like 10 or so entries on the list on Remote Daily are looking really sus. Optimize Group with Optimize spelled incorrectly. These are the farming things. But I will definitely check that out. Maybe it'll turn into something. Maybe it'll turn into something. I am always down for checking out new things and new possibilities. Cause yeah, if we had just an extra like $800 a month coming into the household here, we wouldn't be struggling like this. What I'm seeing is this, right? So like this lead blockchain engineer at this company, Politics, that icon right there is AI generated. I can tell by the art style, that's an AI generated icon. this kind of thing, lead blockchain engineer for a company nobody has ever heard of. This is one of those jobs where you apply, they get your information, you never hear from them again. Optimize group, with optimize spelled incorrectly, this is the same thing. It's a job that's too good to be true. A remote partnership manager for $100,000 a year? Yeah. This one right here, Shumba Capital. This feels like a very Indian thing. Oh, we're gonna pay you $60,000 a year to be our marketing specialist. You don't need any experience with marketing. Too good to be true. Micro One, a US tax law analyst, but like all of the first stuff here, every single one of these feels fake as fuck. Like I would not trust any of these. They're all too good to be true. Because like when you start getting into real stuff, they're like, okay, we want 5 to 10 years of experience in help desk. You need to speak Italian and English. For this one, you need to speak French and English. They're looking for someone who can translate. Senior SAP Cloud Developer. SAP is Software Applications and Programming. Yeah, and specifically they're looking for an architect. Like these jobs down here feel real. So I'm gonna go through like this listing because it feels like there may be some legitimate stuff here, and if they're willing to work remote and abroad, that would be fantastic. But yeah, all of this stuff right here at the top, I'm willing to bet every single one of these is a ghost job. Yeah. So I will definitely look check that out. But yeah, like that stuff that I pointed out right there at the top of that list, that's the kind of stuff that I'm getting back from LinkedIn. Because I get an email every day from LinkedIn saying, hey, we have these 20 jobs available and they all match your skill set. And then I go look and it's 20 things that are exactly like this, all from the same company. And when I go check out that company, the company says that they are an online, I forget what they're called. The companies where you go and show up and they have a bunch of different jobs and then they assign you out to different companies that hired them. They claim that they're an online version of that, and all they have are jobs like this that are these ghost jobs trying to get your information. Nobody is going to give you $100,000 a year job with no experience. Like, no, those jobs don't really exist. That's the bait on the end of the hook to steal your data. And people wonder how their data gets out there to all of these spam call companies and whatnot. This is it. This is the new way that they do it. I don't think I have one of the LinkedIn emails. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm not gonna show it because it has like real world information on it. But it's like, hey, we have an AI trainer remote. We have a couple of those. We have a video game player, fully remote, $12 an hour for playing video games. A video editor, an AI internship, and what I'm seeing here is quick hire staffing, Hire Feed, which is a staffing company. A lot of the things I get are from Hire Feed. Sunday with 2 Ys, which is an online only staffing company. Yeah. Because I've had a lot of people say, hey, well, why don't you try LinkedIn? And I'm like, I am trying LinkedIn. This is the kind of shit that's on LinkedIn. Like, it's not any better than walking down the street with a sign saying, we'll work for money. It's roughly the same thing. And yeah, and if people were really paying people to play video games, guess what? Every streamer would be rich. It's not happening. Okay, let's... I keep coming back to Banjo-Kazooie. Here we go. That'll work. That'll work. That'll work for some music. Have we leveled out in our bitrate yet, or is it still spiking? Is that 5,000 right now? Oh, and it just bottom. It's still spiking. Well, even those kind of jobs now are starting to go away because all of the mobile games and stuff that you see are AI slop. And I can give you an example of where it's the worst. If you go to YouTube, they have a section called Playables, where they have all of these games. These games like this here, where you see there's a little guy with no face that runs around and clicks on stuff. Guess what? All of these games were written by AI. Scrolling down this page, I have yet to see a game that is a human creation. Because you see the same thing over and over. None of these games are unique. They're all copies of games that are already out there that are extremely popular. They're all in the same art style. These little people with no faces that run around. Like, all of... It's like they went through the store and they said, oh, let's pick the popular games. Like the fruit adding game, what was it called? Suiko, something like that appeared on Switch. That was all the rage a couple years ago. The puzzle games that everybody's grandma plays on their smartphones. Everything that's on itch.io is copied over here, and all of this is just generated by an AI and thrown up here. And it's not just here on YouTube, it's in the mobile stores as well. When people are talking about AI slop, this is what they're talking about. And with things like this, like, you don't need a playtester, because it doesn't matter if it's good. When you can put out 200 little app games a month, no one cares if your app game is good. Especially if it's shit like this. Wizard Puppy, Magic Sword. There's so many of these sorting games. There's Hexa Sort, there's Magic Sort, there's like a coin sort. What another sorting game? We passed a couple of these unscrew games. There's Tetris. There's a bubble shooter game right there. There's another bubble shooter game right there. There's the other screw puzzle game. There's so many of these tidy games. Like there's a tidy up game. There's a tidy up game with Tetris. There's a tidy up game with makeup. Like, yeah. There's another sorting game, Cake Sort. It's crazy. Yeah, the AI slop thing is a very real thing, and it's coming for a very real niche part of the workforce. Things where people don't look too closely at what they're interacting with, because people don't look at a mobile game, because there's so many of them out there and so many of them are shit, and now we're just like being flooded. The market is being flooded by all of these games. And every one of these has a pay component to speed them up. It was the same thing that I showed with Fiverr earlier, and with the job listings. Like, these are things that are not real things, unfortunately. And AAA developers aren't even testing their games anymore. Have you played a video game in the past 5-10 years? Oh my god. Half of them don't even boot at launch. The last Call of Duty didn't work for 3 months after it came out. And that's nothing that's even actually new. Like going all the way back to like the late 2000s, Diablo 3, when it came out, didn't work for 2 weeks. Is a marble sort game on your phone with the levels physically impossible without the paid items? Yeah. 10-1, it was built by an AI. Because that's what they do. They copy an existing game, and then they give you like 10 or 20 levels for free, and show you that there's a shop where you can buy stuff, and then they start giving you levels where you have to have items from the shop. Some games will even give you a shop item for free right at the start, expecting you to use it before you get to the level where you need it. And then the next level is going to require you to use it again, which then you have to go and buy it. And once you make one purchase from something like that, the fallacies start to kick in your brain, and they know that. The sunk cost fallacy, and then there's another fallacy where you justify things that you bought. And like the people that are making these games know that this stuff exists. And it's one of the reasons that people become like fanboys of certain things. If you invest in something and buy something that's really expensive, once you've purchased it, you now have to justify in your head the reason that you purchased it. And yeah, it's that kind of stuff. They try their best to trick you into buying something once, because they know once you buy something once, you now have to justify that purchase, and it will lead to you buying additional things. Because you bought that one thing in order to get better at the game. So now you have to get better at the game, which means you need to buy more things. Yeah, it's really hard to find. I'm on Indeed as well. It is really hard to find legitimate stuff on Indeed. Cause on this page that you linked me, Daily Remote, I only had to go down 10 entries before I started seeing legitimate stuff. On Indeed, you have to go 10 or 20 pages before you start finding legit stuff. As soon as you hit the bullshit wall, the only thing it makes you want to do is beat it without giving them money. I mean, I don't even play mobile games because it's not worth it. Not compared to what other actual games give you. No mobile game is ever going to be as good or engaging as a console game or a PC game. It is not going to happen. If it were going to happen, it would have happened already. And the fact that we haven't seen a mobile, like the best that mobile can do is raid Shadow Legends. And that's a fucking gotcha money trap. That's why Diablo Immortal got fucking booed at BlizzCon when they announced that shit. Because Diablo Immortal isn't trash compared to Diablo 3, Diablo 2, Diablo 4. I mean, there's a reason that everybody rushes to the numbered Diablo games and nobody really plays Immortal except for the... That's why you get a Switch. It was made to play on the toilet. I mean, it is. I mean, Nintendo could market the Switch as the toilet console. Because everybody that I know that has one plays it docked. Because it's docked, it's on the TV screen, you're getting the upscaling and everything. In handheld mode, I mean, yeah, it's nice, but the controls aren't that great. Nobody really likes, everybody likes playing with the Pro controller. Nobody really likes playing with the Joy-Cons. So yeah, like the portable mode is great if you're going to the doctor and you're sitting in the waiting room, you whip it out, you play it at the doctor's office. If you're going to the toilet, like just pick it up, take it to the toilet, drop it back in your dock. Like that's what everybody that I know that has a Switch uses it for. They play it in docked mode on their TV, or if they have to go to a doctor, or if they have to go to the bathroom. Proper games require time and thought. True. None of the games that I showed you on the YouTube thing a moment ago, none of them require brain cells. None of them. You could make a program that just goes through and clicks every pixel on the screen and pass every single one of those games right up until you have to like buy stuff. Yeah, whip it out and play with it at the doctor's office. No context needed. Nope. I have discovered a new invention in looking for drinks with flavor around the house. Because we still have some coffee left. So I have coffee flavored with maple syrup, which I've never tried before, but I don't like black coffee, so I like to sweeten it with something. But we don't have sugar, we don't have milk. Those are way too expensive to buy. It's only like $1 for a bottle of maple syrup, and you put that in coffee, and it makes a nice like maple caramel coffee flavor thing. It's decent. It's decent. I wouldn't drink it every day. I have a cup of ice water here. But it's nice to throw a little flavor in between the ice water. My bitrate is still going all over the place. Like I've been sitting here just watching the bitrate. You have to make a Command and Conquer like game. I have a couple of ideas for games that I want to do. Oh, honey's way too expensive. It's like $5 for a bottle of honey. It's like $1 for a bottle of maple syrup. Those be fancy people things. But yeah, like even at this point, even if they did give us our food stamps, I wouldn't be able to do anything with it because I don't have enough gas to go anywhere except for the gas station down the road. Yeah. Real maple syrup there is insanely. I'm not sure that what I'm getting, because I'm getting the Walmart brand of maple syrup, so I'm not entirely sure that this is real maple syrup. It's not the expensive maple syrup, but then I do live a lot closer to maple syrup land than you do. So we probably have a lot cheaper options for maple syrup here, just because like this is maple syrup is a Canada thing, and Canada is like America's hat. A 10-ounce bottle of maple syrup is about $10. I mean that's about like honey over here. Because honey here is insanely expensive. Olive oil over here is insanely expensive. What else is normal and crazy expensive? Sugar has gotten pretty crazily expensive. Sugar is about $1.50 a pound at its current price right here. Which is one of the reasons, like when you look at yeah, like take a look at this. This is 8 pounds of sugar right here. So it's 2 4-pound bags of sugar from Amazon. It's $6.24, which is $4 cheaper than buying 8 pounds of sugar of the Walmart brand of sugar at Walmart. Because it's $10 for an 8-pound bag of sugar at Walmart. which is one of the reasons that we haven't been able to just get sugar for like a long period of time. It has now moved into the too expensive category of food. And that's another way that they are restricting food stamps on people as well. They're now putting restrictions on what you can and can't buy with food stamps. And they're saying, oh, well, we're not going to let you buy things like potato chips. We're not going to let you buy like sodas and stuff. You're going to have to buy healthier options like rice cakes and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's Walmart. That's the Walmart brand of stuff. Let me see if I can pull up the Walmart website. And I will show you specifically. If I can pull it up without giving away my like personal information. Oh look, Walmart. If I can even pull it up now because it's still loading. It's not gonna load. There are too many pictures on Walmart for it to load right now. There are too many pictures on Walmart.com. My internet speed does not like it. Lanza, you've gifted stuff. Move this over here to make sure it doesn't. Okay, good. It's not good. I see the foodstuffs. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I ran out of all the top ramen that I had last night, in fact, because we do have a bunch of what you call it, canned vegetables and stuff. We do have a bunch of canned vegetables and stuff here. And that works really well with top ramen because you can make ramen and then you get a can of vegetables and you can like drain the vegetables and put like salt and pepper and then mix them into the ramen, and then you have like ramen with kind of real vegetables because they're canned, so they're kinda real. Tank of gas money. What? You don't have to send monies. We will get it sorted. Yes. But thank you for the tank of gas money. I will use this for gas. Yeah. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Let me click the buttons over there. Bam. Booyah, bam. And now I have something to look forward to in the mail. Is this up? This is probably updated by now. The sugar has vanished. Why is the sugar still processing? Throne, what you doing? What you doing, Throne? It'll sort itself up. You just not buy some random tat you don't need this week, but You should buy the random tap because you deserve it. Yes. My bitrate is at 945. I'm probably gonna have to like tear everything apart to fix this shit. I don't like you. That means I'm gonna have to be on the phone with Charter to get them to try and fix what's going on with like the modem and everything, get them to repackage that. A fresh install of Windows, which is just gonna be a pain in the ass, because that's gonna mean like reinstalling all the games and everything. It's gonna be a pain. And I'm gonna have to do that on top of getting ready for the SummerSlam this weekend. This weekend is gonna be super crazy busy. Super crazy busy. 208 kilobytes per second. Oh, it jumped up to 410. Amazing. Yeah. It is not getting better. Can in good conscience be the chains, all that jazz. Yeah. But I am keeping track. I tell you, when I like make it big and get millions of dollars, I'm making you a millionaire. I'm keeping track. I'm gonna show up and go, "There, Lansley here. Have the monies." Ran out of coffee. I'm switching to ice water. I'll buy you some ramen. I'll buy you a ramen shop. Are you guys still getting lag on your side? Because I'm seeing some pretty big like bitrate spikes on my side. I can actually show you. If you look at this number right here, it shows what bitrate we are broadcasting at. And you can see all the meat. Look at me, all the way down. Wow. You're at 360p. Yeah, the bitrate is stupid right now, and it keeps like dropping down into sometimes the single digits before shooting back up and then dropping back down again. It's like a fucking roller coaster going up and down. And if I actually tried to, and that's on a static screen, if I actually put moving graphics and stuff up on this screen, yeah, 360p wouldn't even be good enough. Yeah, it just bottomed out to 0 for a second there on my end. This is going to be a night of me calling them, trying to figure out what's going on. Fun times. So it looks like this is going to become a just chatting stream. I can probably go ahead and do that. It's not even loading in the previous stuff. Let's see how long it takes to refresh the page here. There we go. Just chatting. So we might end up pushing Bear and Breakfast a little bit further into the week after SGDQ. But it's okay. As Lojo pointed out earlier, Hank is a patient bear. That's the cool thing about my internet. My internet is actually free. It is included in the rent of this place. The only utilities that aren't included in our rent is the power utility, and I guess now the trash, because they're saying that I might have to pay that separate as well. But yeah, the internet is actually included in the rent here, so I don't have to pay anything for that. As long as I can pay the rent and the power bill, I will have internet here. It just won't be like professional level internet. It's this shit, which does work a majority of the time. But every once in a while, there are days like today where it's not broadcasting anything, because of how these corporations work with the upload speed and the bigger corporations. If I were to pay $200 a month for business level internet, I would be guaranteed that upload speed. And they would give it to me. Yeah. For Charter Spectrum, all residential internet is shared. Even if you're paying for their like gig connection, where they say, oh, you can have a gig up and down, that gig is shared by everybody in the community. They get away with it by saying up to a gig. But yeah, if you're not paying for the business level of internet, you're sharing your connection. And that business level starts at $200 a month. Not when you factor in that they're trying to make the most amount of money possible. It's how everything works in the United States. They try to figure out how to charge you the maximum amount while giving you the minimum amount. Like, nobody wants to talk about the negatives of a free market economy, but this is one of them. This is where a free market economy ends up. It ends up with everything being controlled by mega corporations, charging you the maximum amount and giving you the minimum amount. Like, everybody talks about how communism won't work, how it always ends up crashing and the country falling into poverty. Well, there are downsides to a free market economy as well. And it ends up with mega corporations controlling everything, charging the maximum and giving the minimum. That's the end game for a free market economy. That's where the United States is right now. Everything here is it might be the World Cup doing it, but the World Cup, the reason that I doubt it would be World Cup stuff here in the US is because a large portion of people don't follow the World Cup here in the United States. I can imagine it being a huge issue in Europe or the Middle East or Asia. Like, it doesn't seem as big of a thing. Because the Super Bowl, for example, is 10 times bigger than the World Cup is here. And we did not see any kind of like slowdown like this when the Super Bowl was happening here. But then I don't think the rest of the world even really noticed that the Super Bowl was happening. Well, well, first for Loja, it's using your immediate locality. Yeah, but your immediate locality is SoCal. So, like, that's a separate entity. When, like, all of SoCal, from LA to San Francisco, like, that whole area is like a mini country. It's like Texas or New York. You can't really count it with the rest of the United States. It's its own separate block over there. The Super Bowl was shown on one TV channel, not via streaming. Oh, there are streaming options for the Super Bowl, and they are very expensive. But I think you hit the nail on the head with ISPs pushing bandwidth to streaming companies, because that's what is probably happening. There are companies that are that might actually be doing something. Yeah, so yeah, it might just be the ISPs pushing the bandwidth to streaming companies, because like I know that what's happening here is the ISP is like sucking up my bandwidth. I'm getting more information from looks like I'm in the pink section, which is day 3. My when is the 25th? Oh, next Thursday. Yeah, because as I mentioned, businesses have priority over the bandwidth on the internet from residential. So if there are businesses that are using the bandwidth for the World Cup, that would explain why residential areas are being throttled so badly. So I think you hit the nail on the head right there. So yeah, it's not that the majority of the U.S. cares about the World Cup, because there are some places like SoCal and New York that have very large presences when it comes to it. But it's probably more the corporations are doing stuff and chewing up all my bandwidth. On games days, if you're within a 4th mile of a stadium, mobile data is basically nil. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It gets overloaded. Couldn't imagine a World Cup game happening on that network. It'd be like, what network? Well, I don't foresee this getting better. Yeah, it's a big deal pretty much everywhere but here. During the advert break of England games, there's a power dip because everybody goes and turns on their kettle to make tea. That is the most British thing that I have ever heard. So I wonder if I can just expect my internet to be shit until the World Cup is over. Is that what's happening? My internet just gonna be bad? I can now see exactly how far behind you guys are, because I made that joke like 2 minutes ago. the whole country has a brownout, and you're like, oh, it's halftime. Yeah. It's really far behind. Yeah, it is. And it's not gonna get better. We are coming up on the two hour mark here for the stream, and it's been going up and down like a roller coaster the entire time. Hopefully by tomorrow evening, when the Planet Crafter collaboration rolls around, it'll be better. I'm hoping. And then I'm hoping it's better for next week, because we're doing the charity stream. It's happening. Charity stream is happening. Yes. I didn't get to do it last year. I don't get to do charity things all that often on my planet. On my stream. I was looking at Planet Craft and I said planet. I don't get to do charity things all that often on this channel due to needing charity so often on this channel. So next week we're doing the thing. It's happening. If we have to do it at 1 frame per second, happening. It will be the slowest charity stream in the history of helping people, but it's happening. Yes. Anywho. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's stream. There's not a whole lot I can do about except talk, and I've already fussed about all the unfair shit that's happening. We've talked about all the stuff that's coming up. We made the funnies. We talked about AI slop. I don't think there's anything else to really mention. And as long as this thing is going up and down like a roller coaster, there's no way I can actually play a game, unfortunately. Scions and Sinners. Roll credits, because the band is named Scions and Sinners. I'm gonna let the stream catch up to to where I said, okay, this is we're wrapping up at 2 hours of chatting, because so I need to give it like 5 more minutes for the stream to catch up. I don't even know if it's gonna let me like try to raid out to somebody, because on a good day Twitch is like, no. I clicked the button to see who was available for raiding. It's still loading. It's still loading. Okay. Let's see. There's not a lot of people out and about today. Oh, looks like DG is streaming. Let's see if I can raid into DG when it loads the thing. Yeah, it's not letting me raid in to anybody. So I will send you guys to DG. I guess manually. If I can even get that to load. Well, it's not loading. Okay. We're gonna raid DG. There's the link. And yeah, I guess when you get there, just say Nari raid. Hi, and something like that. And yeah. I'll probably be back for Planet Crafter tomorrow evening. If my internet is working, we shall see. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and analog raid. Yes, go in there and say analog raid, Nari analog raid. That's your raid message. Should I start doing raid messages? That seems like a fun idea. Your raid message today is analog raid. So yeah, and that's gonna be it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with a Planet Crafter collaboration, probably, unless the world is still melting online. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Nari out. Thanks for the food monies.